Hello everybody and welcome back to the Duggan Daily Dish. I'm Jamie Duggan and this is my kitchen. Tonight we are making pizza. And I'm not making any standard pizza. When I make pizza in this house, it's a specialty pizza. And tonight's specialty pizza is actually Philly cheesesteak pizza. Takes a little bit of prep time, especially with the onions. But let me tell you, it's completely worth it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to heat your oven to 400 degrees. And while that's heating up, we're going to get the onions going. And you want to make these onions soft, and you want to use a sweet onion because it helps with the flavor of the pizza. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take 2 teaspoons of oil, and you're going to put them in your pan. And then you're going to heat this up over medium-high heat. Coat my pan a little bit. The only annoying thing about this pizza actually is how long it takes to do the onions. But that's okay. So you want to take 1 large sweet onion and you want to slice that up. And when this gets going, we are going to cook the onions. So they take about maybe 30, it takes about a half an hour for the onions, believe it or not, which totally blew me away. But they shrink up, and I know it may not seem like a big deal the way you cook the onions, but it does on this pizza because they're real soft and real sweet when they're cooked up, and you want them small on the pizza. So let me check my pan here. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so you're going to throw your onions in here. And you want to stir these around just to get them coated in the oil. And then we're going to cook these uncovered for about 10 minutes, and you're going to stir every 3 to 4 minutes. So once we're done with that, I'll come back. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and I just want to show you what my onions look like. They're getting a nice caramelized color, and that's what we want. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn this down to a medium-low heat, and I actually like to keep mine on low because I don't want to burn my onions. I want to get them caramelized. I don't want to burn them. Turn down on low, and about every 5 minutes, you're going to stir these puppies around, and it's going to be for about 20 minutes. So they'll be about golden brown, they'll shrink up, and then we're going to set these aside so they can cool for the pizza. So I'll see you in another 20 minutes. Remember, every 5 minutes, stir your onions. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, and our onions are done. And you want to get them off of the pan and onto a plate, because we want to cool these puppies down. I'll show you the beautiful color in a second. Look at these, aren't they gorgeous? Beautiful. Okay, so you want to set these aside, and now let's get that pizza in the oven. We gotta bake the crust, and then we'll do the rest of it. So I'll see you on the other side of the kitchen in a second. Okay, so now it's time to bake the start of the pizza. So what you want to do is you want to take a rectangular pan and take your pizza crust. Now, if you follow the recipe, it actually tells you to use the artisan whole wheat, which is what I usually go for when I make this pizza. However, my store only had the classic pizza dough in the store, so I am stuck using that. You can use any, you can probably even do thin. I'm sure this would taste delicious as a thin pizza. The only thing that you would have to do is actually, you might have to bake it a little bit differently because it's a little bit thinner, but Usually I buy what I can. If I can follow the recipe, great. If not, crust is crust, if you ask me. So depends on what kind of crust you want. Okay, so take your dough here and put it in your pan. You're just going to unroll it. And you're going to spread it out to fit the pan. Now they ask for a 15 by 10 inch rectangle. I'm not exactly sure what size this is. So I just press it out until I can get it to fit, or until I know it's not going to rip. So just smooth it out. If you make a hole, patch it up. And like I said, you want to make sure with the Pillsbury products, or even if you're using an off-brand of the pizza crust, you want to make sure that you leave this cold, because if you don't, the dough is a lot harder to work with. It gets like funky and it will not work right, and it tears easier, and it's a mess. So spread this out as long as you can possibly get it, which we're almost there. And like I said, if you have any rips or holes when you're done, make sure you go in and fill those gaps. And with homemade pizza, obviously it doesn't have to look like a pizzeria pizza. Most of the times, actually, when you see a homemade pizza, they are rectangle. There are a couple pizzas that you'll see me make that I do a circle. It's a little bit tougher, especially when you're rolling out the dough, but just a preference. I actually like the square pizzas a little bit better. Alright, so I think I got it spread out as far as I can get it without ripping a hole. Okay, so you want to stick this baby in a 400-degree oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you when that's done. Okay, so we have a beautiful start to a golden colored crust. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add your pizza sauce. So this is any pizza sauce that you like. And you want about a half a cup of pizza sauce. Go ahead and pour it on. And let me tell you, the taste of these caramelized sweet onions, it's like candy. I love caramelized sweet onions. They're so, so yummy. You always want to leave a little bit on the sides where you're not going to put the sauce, unless you splatter it like I just did, because you want that crust. Some people like the crust without the sauce, some people do. So I try to spread it out to where, you know, a normal crust would be. Try to make it as even as possible. You can add a little bit more pizza sauce if you'd like, which I think I'm going to do. Love pizza sauce. So I usually layer it on. I'm a big sauce person, so I really, really love a lot of sauce on a pizza. I don't know why, I just do. So this is probably about a cup now of sauce I put on. And like I said, just spread it around evenly as you can. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. Should have done this in little squirts. I've learned that if I do a little bit at a time, pour a little bit, spread it, it goes much easier. But I did not do that this time, so we'll just have to deal with how it turns out. Okay. Alright, so we did that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take, there's about 1/3 of a pound of thinly sliced roast beef, and you're going to chop that up. And this is just out of the deli. I just asked for 1/3 of a pound of sliced thin roast beef. You can do a heavier, a thicker roast beef if you want. And just spread this all around. And this is just unevenly chopped. Sometimes I actually just take the pieces and tear them. If you cut them up in little pieces like this, though, you get more of that on the pizza instead of one big chunk of roast beef. So you want to be able to do that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your onion. Look how beautiful these turned out. Aren't they gorgeous? And they taste like candy. I'm not even kidding you. They're absolutely delicious. There's less on this plate because Jamie was hungry. And they really do, because I don't know if because it's the sweet onion or what, but they really do taste like candy. So spread those around there. Okay. All right. Then next, you are going to put on your cheese, and this is basically however much cheese you want to put on is up to you. But they ask for 2 cups, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm a cheeseaholic, so I'm a sauceaholic, a chocoholic, a cheeseaholic. I just like it all. And this is actually, this calls for provolone, shredded provolone, which surprisingly was actually pretty hard to find in Pittsburgh. But they do have, and I know I could buy a provolone piece of cheese and shred it myself, but man, I'm lazy. You should know this by now. So this is actually a mozzarella and provolone mix. So this is going to be quite tasty. So throw that on top of there. And one of the reasons why you put your meat on your cheese is because, first of all, of the grease, and second of all, if you put the cheese on top, you'll have less chance of losing a big chunk of meat, because it's melted cheese on top. Okay, and then on top of that, you're gonna stick your peppers, and this is just one slice of or one pepper that I diced up or chopped up. Sometimes I've made little decorations, especially if I'm making this for like, Valentine's Day or, a birthday or something. I will decorate with, I'm a dork like that. You can do that with your toppings if you'd like. Today we're just going to put them all around the pizza. Because I'm sure you don't want to see some weird design that I could come up with. I'm not much of an artist. So I will spare you that. As you can see, it is gorgeous. Pretty pizza. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to stick this in the oven and bake it for about 8 to 10 minutes longer until the crust is golden brown. So check your time. See, I got tomato sauce on my sweater. I knew it would happen. And then to serve it, you're going to cut it into 6x3 pieces, or however you want to serve it. If you want larger pieces, go ahead. So go ahead, stick this back in the oven at 400 for 8 to 10 minutes, and I'll see you then. Okay, so the pizza is done, and this is how it turned out. Doesn't that look delicious? It's amazing. Can't wait to dig in. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you try out this recipe. Hopefully I didn't make you too seasick doing that. See you next time.